Hello, I'm Tom from Taft's Products. It's been 4 years since we did a video on one of these, the Enbio Sterilisers. This is the Beauty Edition. I'm going to unbox it and tell you what it's all about. Before we get into this and start unpacking it and showing you about its features and what it can do, what it can't do against the other models, I want to tell you a bit about where you buy your Enbio from. Obviously, we sell Enbios, we sell all the models, the Pro, the S, the Beauty, we sell them all. We normally always have stock and we are based in the UK. Your product will come from the UK, it'll stay within the UK. After the UK left the single market, the EU, there is more problems with importing in from the EU. It can be slower, sometimes you can be hit with hidden charges from courier companies, as you may well know. So just be careful where you're buying Enbios from. There's a lot of companies springing up online where they're actually coming direct from Poland, from Italy, from countries outside of the UK. Now I'm not saying that's a bad thing to buy them from there, but what I've heard in our experience is people are buying them and then they're getting a FedEx bill for £100. Not even tax or duty, just a bill for saying, look, this is for doing the paperwork. So just be really careful, do your due diligence of where you're buying it from. Make sure the company's got a bit of a historical standing. We've been trading for over 10 years. We tend to look after our customers very well, so if there's any problems, get in touch, we can report it and get it sorted straight away. If you're dealing with someone outside of the UK, that might be more difficult to do. So that's the first and foremost thing. Just be careful where you're buying from. So the box is very similar to the old box. If you do watch the old video, which will be on our channel somewhere, the Enbio was suspended in like plastic, so it was like floating, and that worked really well for a period of time until there was a couple of damages. So Enbio changed how they packaged the device. Now, when you open the box, you're greeted with a few things. The power lead, very important. A red tube with a USB stick inside it, very important. A blue tube with a black thing on it. We'll come to that later on. This little magic thing is very, very useful and important. A HEPA filter for the back of the device. Your instruction manual and all-important certificate. Okay? Which is like a Salon Safe certificate, and inside here as well there'll be a validation to show that the unit was tested from the factory. When we get the devices, we bring them in, we test them ourselves, then they go out to the customer. There is lots of phases of testing before we send out an autoclave. So the packaging, it is now full polystyrene. Get your muscles on, and it will lift out. This packaging is very robust, very strong, and in my opinion, a lot better than the suspended packaging they had before. So this is what makes Enbio very unique. Obviously, you can get all sorts of sterilisers, autoclaves out there that do a very similar job. Heat to 134 degrees, can heat quite quickly. But what makes Enbios unique is they're actually quite transportable. So this weighs between 18 kilograms and 20 kilos, which can be lifted. Because of that, courier drivers can deliver them. People can take them in easily at home. Whereas before, archaically, an autoclave was delivered on a pallet. It was unpacked by 2 people. It was set up by an engineer. This is all very much self-service, so to speak. You can take the delivery, you can unpack it yourself, you can run the tests, save them on your USB stick to ensure that you've logged the data correctly and the Enbio was working and fully operational when you took it in. And it's very rare you see them this size, and that's why Enbio tends to do really well, because they can make them smaller, make them slightly cheaper, and make them transportable via courier. So, as you open it, the Enbio is packed nice and tightly inside the actual polystyrene. There's a little handle, a loose handle on the back. Lift it from the back first. Pop it out. Lift it from the front. And it's just nicely packaged. Really compact. We'll go more into the design of it later on. Now, Enbio were one of the first to bring this sort of drawer design to the autoclave market. So because of that, they were able to make it without internal water tanks. The water tanks are external on the Enbio, as you probably well know. But it means that you can make something quite tidy and compact. 60 centimeters deep, less than 30 sort of wide, 25, 30 high as well. So it's very, very compact. It'll fit on most worktops quite comfortably. And this is the beauty of it. This is what makes the sort of Enbio unique and different to the sort of competitors. The first thing you see is a sticker with a QR code on. It's a free sterilisation course certificate. You might as well do it. You've got the Enbio, you invest in a lot of money in it. You might as well get the paperwork right, get your data right from the outset. Not only are you going to get your certificate that you get in the actual box, go online, register your Enbio device with Enbio, or with us, we can help you do that. Scan the QR code, do the course, and then you can make sure you're qualified. Make sure there's nothing in the drawer, and then it's a case of setting the Enbio up. There is lots of videos online on how to set your Enbio up. I'm not going to show you them now. It is pretty straightforward. The red tube is for your water out, the blue tube is for your water in, and now, due to the magic filter, which I'll speak very shortly about, it's even easier for the water container storage. You now only need one bottle for in and out of water, and I'll explain why that is the case. First, the design of it. What they've done is, the Beauty Edition, they've gone with like a slightly off-white, sort of creamy colour. Looks really nice. They've got a gold handle on the front. Still got the traditional vents that you see in Enbios with LED lights on. And it just looks really nice. It's a piece of equipment where it doesn't look as medical. In a beauty setting, it's probably perfect. It'd fit right in. I imagine it'd sit with most salons or places where you're doing sort of beauty treatments. In terms of the inside of it, it's very similar to an S. So the Enbio S is a very similar sort of size, structure. The profile is exactly the same. The differences between the Enbio Beauty and the Enbio S and Enbio Pro, and first you need to establish the difference between the Pro and the S. So the Pro is a bigger device. The Pro's taller, a lot deeper. So slightly wider, so you get a slightly bigger tray, a slightly deeper tray. There's actually two trays in the Enbio Pro, so you can sterilise more things at once. Pros are more for dentists, for people who are busier, in sterilising a lot more, and just for, you know, a more medical setting. The S and the Beauty are incredibly similar. The only difference between the S and the Beauty is the Enbio Beauty has two programs, two settings, two cycles. It has a fast 7-minute cycle and a longer 15-minute cycle. Both go to 134 degrees. The longer one has more drying time. The Enbio S has a third cycle. It has both those, the 7 and the 15. It also has a cooler cycle, 121 degrees, which is for porous items, so items with holes in which are hollow, items which might have a plastic handle, or something similar, so that it doesn't melt. So it's slightly cooler. It still sterilises up to a temperature, but it only goes to 121. So that's the only difference. The difference in the prices, you're paying for the extra cycle. So if you've got a lot of instruments, a lot of tools that are hollow, that are got plastic handles, even a bit, sometimes they've got wooden handles that you need to sterilise, the Enbio S is for you. If everything you have is exclusively metal, is not hollow and it's solid, you can buy the Enbio Beauty, because the similarities are so much the same, so similar, so to speak. Not much in it. Other than that, the design is, the Beauty's got the gold handle, the Enbio S has got a silver handle, and it's white, so it's just down to aesthetics. It's slightly cream in colour, the Enbio S is totally white. Other than that, that's really it. There's not much difference. They brought this into the market, they removed a cycle, they made the usability of the screen slightly more easier and intuitive to follow, a bit more visually sort of stimulating than the S, but it operates the same way. It's got the exact same drawer, the exact same tray, servicing is done exactly the same, repairs are done exactly the same, other than some software differences. So they're the main differences between the Pro, the S and the Beauty. And there are 3 price tiers. The Pro's usually the most expensive, then the S, then the Beauty is the most economical, the cheapest. What all our Enbios come with is something called a magic filter. Now the magic filter, you could do a video on itself, because it's incredibly clever and incredibly unique to Enbio. I've not seen another autoclave that uses this sort of technology, but it wouldn't surprise me if they start to use this technology. It uses a filter system inside this little tube, which pulls the water in through the filter, outputs it into the device clean, and the water that comes out goes into the same bottle. On 1 litre only 1 litre of water, you can get up to 1,000 processes with this magic filter. So what we're saying is you don't need to change that water for 1,000 cycles, which is a massive, massive cost saving. You're not distilling water with a water distiller it's like boiling a kettle that costs. You're not buying more distilled water or deionized water to use every single time you run out. The water that comes out of this device goes back into the same bottle. It reuses that water, filters it, and gets it back into the device. That is worth the cost price, not alone, but it's worth a lot of the cost price. It's going to save you a lot of money long term. And because the unique tube system with the Enbio and where the water bottle's outside of the device, it makes it very unique to Enbio. You can't use this magic filter on any other autoclave. I imagine other autoclave brands and manufacturers are going to closely follow suit, because if there's anything about these devices, it's about saving money. Also, how ecological it is to reuse the water. It's good for the environment, you're recycling the water. It's about saving money, not only short term in terms of the cost of these, but also over the period you're using it. We'll finish on support. There is more and more companies in the UK now actually servicing and repairing in and out of warranty Enbios. Because of their ease of transport and the way they can be sent, you can be a lot more competitively priced with where and who does your servicing. Historically, you'd get a local engineer to come, he would charge you whatever he wanted or the company wanted. Whereas Enbio, you can ring a few companies. You can ring us, you can ring, there's a few up north, there's down south, they're all over the UK. And you can say, do you service Enbios? Yes, how much do they cost? So because there's many people doing it, hopefully to the same standard, it means that the cost can always keep in a level playing field, and no one's going to be charging you thousands of pounds a year to service your autoclave. Or because you can send it off, you don't have to have people come and service it here in your actual building. You can do if you want, but because if you've got the option and the size of it and the weight of it, you can send it off and you can do it elsewhere. And then we get down to reliability. So 4 years ago, when I did the video on the Enbio S, the reliability was okay. It wasn't perfect by any stretch. It was good. It was like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So for every sort of 10 devices we sold, we saw 1 or 2 go faulty within the first 2 years. There's a 2-year warranty on these. So we want 2 cause for concern at the time, and also the warranties were dealt with quickly, very little arguments, they got them repaired, back to the customers, and then it was just to us to do the customer service. Now, what I'm pleased to say is the reliability has got better and better and better. And now, for every 10 sold, half of 1 breaks. So for every 20, 1 faults. And that number is getting lower and lower month on month, which is absolutely brilliant to see. They're not only investing in the ability to produce more, investing in the technology, in the product, they're also investing in the reliability of them, which is really, really good. Because 4 years ago, it wasn't perfect, but we are definitely getting towards perfect. And the one thing you want is a reliable autoclave, obviously. There is so many safety features in here, so many errors that flag up if something's not quite right. It's an incredibly safe device. It's a Class B registered medical device. All the certifications there, all done properly as it should be. So you can buy in confidence as well. Other than that, I think I'm done. Thank you for watching. Sorry it's been 4 years. Been very busy. Subscribe to the channel. I didn't realise we had so many subscribers. I was pleasantly surprised. Subscribe to the channel. We'll try and produce more videos of this content to showcase our products. When I say try, I can't guarantee, but we'll give it a go. Thank you.